Hello students, my name is Kavindra Rai. I am PGT Commerce in Kendriya Vidyalaya number 1, Sagar. I welcome you all to my new video. In this video, we will be going to learn the definition of a company and the features of a company. So let's start with the definition and meaning of a company. As per section 2, subsection 20 of the Companies Act 2013, company means a company incorporated under this act or under any previous company law. Now let us interpret the meaning of the definition given as per Company Act. Students, company means a company incorporated under this act. Under this act here means the act which is prevalent right now, that is the Company Act 2013, or under any previous company law. It means that any law related to the companies that was prevalent earlier. According to the definition, company means any association of persons who have come together and got their company incorporated under the Companies Act. A company is an artificial person created by law having separate identity and a perpetual succession. This definition you have already studied in class 11th. A company is an artificial person. As we all know, company is an artificial person. Artificial person means it does not have any physical existence like a natural person, but like a natural human being, it can act into any agreement or can be sued or sue in any case. It has a separate identity from its members. It has its own legal existence. It is created by law and have a perpetual succession, which means the members of the company may come and go, but the business of the companies keeps on going. Now let us see some of the features of the company. The first feature is incorporated association. Incorporated word means any company that is registered under the Companies Act and comes into existence. And association means a voluntary association of persons who are also called the promoters, who take the risks to start or incorporate a company. Every company must be compulsorily registered or incorporated under the Companies Act 2013. According to section 3, the minimum number of persons required for forming a private company is 2, and 7 for a public company, and 1 person for one-person company. These persons are also known as the subscribers to the memorandum of the company. So this also you have already studied in class 11th, that to incorporate a private company, at least 2 members are required, and in case of a public company, 7 members are required. While in case of a one-person company, only 1 person is required to form or get the company incorporated. Now come to the second feature, that is separate legal entity. The company is distinct and different from the members who formed it. It is recognized as a separate entity by law. It means that the members of the company and company itself are different from each other. Now come to the third feature, artificial person. A company, being an artificial person, is dependent on natural persons such as directors, shareholders, and officers for its day to day functioning. However, the company without suffer from illness, old age, and death. So, student, it means that company is an artificial person. It does not have any physical existence like a natural human being. It does not have any hands, eyes. So, for operating its activities, company depends upon its directors, shareholders, and officers who perform the day-to-day functioning of the company. Then the fourth point is limited liability of members. As we have already seen, in case of a sole proprietorship business and a partnership firm, the liabilities of the members are unlimited. That means, in any case, if the firm is not in a condition of paying its debt, the personal assets of the members can also be utilized. But in case of a company, the liabilities of the members are limited. It means that the members who have purchased the shares of the company, their liabilities will be limited to the amount which they have invested in the shares. Separate property. The shareholders of the company cannot be described as the owner of the property of the company belongs to the company, not to the shareholders. As we have already seen, the company and its members both have different identity. The properties of the company belongs to the company and not to the shareholders. A company has its separate identity, and all the properties which are purchased by the companies are owned by the company itself and cannot be used by the members for their personal purposes. Transferability of shares. In case of a public company, the shares are freely transferable, but in case of a private company, there will be certain restrictions on the transferability of shares. So, students, if it is a public company, the shareholders can freely transfer their shares, but in case of a private company, the transferability of share is restricted to a certain extent. Now, the next feature, that is common seal. The official signature of the company is called the common seal. It is made up of metal and is not of rubber stamp. The name of the company and the date of incorporation and place of registered office are engraved. So, like a natural human being, when they enter into an agreement, they put their signature on the agreement papers. But in case of a company, as company do not have any physical existence, the common seal of the company is used. And wherever the common seal of a company is used, the company becomes liable for that agreement. So, like a signature used by the human beings, in the same case, a company uses its common seal to enter into an agreement. The next, separation of ownership from management. In a company, the shareholders contribute capital, but the management of the company will be in the hands of the professionals, directors. Therefore, the shareholders enjoy dividend without being burdened by the management of affairs. So, students, in case of a company, the ownership and management of the company is separated. The shareholders are the real owner of the company, but they do not interfere in the management of the company. The directors of the companies and the professionals, they look after the day-to-day operations of the business, whereas the shareholders enjoy the dividend without being burdened by the management of affairs. Perpetual succession. Members may come, members may go, but the company goes on forever. It means that in case of a company, the members of the company or the shareholders of the company may remain in the company or can go, but the companies keep on operating its activities. It means that the existence of the members does not affect the business of the company. For example, all members of a private company were killed by a bomb while in general meeting held. The company still continues to exist through the legal hires of the deceased parties or members.